Hey guys, LevelCap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming, the new show where we cover all things FPS. Before we get into the news, I've got a quick word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Polarium, the makers of Raid Shadow Legends. This insanely popular mobile free-to-play RPG has been nominated for Google Play's Best of 2019 Users' Choice Award. The game has seen 15 million downloads in the last 6 months alone. Now, what exactly is Raid? It's a hero collection turn-based game with over 400 different champions to collect and customize. With a fully voiced single-player campaign, 13 different locations to discover, and literally millions of different champion builds, there's seemingly endless possibilities in the game. Not to mention new content drops and weekly tournaments for the player base. Again, it's free to play and has a ton of free content to unlock and legendary quests to acquire some of the best champions in the game. Thanks to the success of the title, the dev team have put forward a massive roadmap for the next 6 months, detailing a new faction, a tag team feature, and even a new class boss you will be able to fight with your clanmates. So what are you guys waiting for? Go to the video description, click on the special link, and you will get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. Good luck, and I'll see you there. Alright, let's get into the news. Battlefield 5's next update, 5.2, has been a hot topic of debate for the past few weeks. DICE released a blog post announcing the update, outlining some of the changes it would make to the bullets to kill values for all guns except for snipers, bolt-action carbines, and anti-material rifles. While the changes are intended to make the affected weapons more balanced overall, the side effect is probably shifting the TTK for some guns. On top of the bullet to kill changes, DICE are also tweaking recoil, rate of fire, ammo count, and more. A follow-up blog post went into more detail about the specific changes for the STG-44 and Thompson. The general reaction of players on social media and Reddit has been mixed at best, with many players calling these changes a return to the infamous TTK 2.0 update from this time last year, an update that DICE implemented and then quickly reverted. The good news is that it sounds like DICE are listening to player feedback. They did a live stream this week hosted by community manager Adam Freeman. During the livestream, he had multiple developers working on Battlefield 5 explain the changes coming with 5.2 regarding the weapon rebalance. DICE are further tweaking the changes to mitigate some of the TTK issues worrying the players. They're not totally undoing the changes though, so expect some big shakeups when the patch goes live early next month. During the livestream, DICE also showed off an updated AP mine that uses tripwires like Battlefield 1's tripwire mines. Placing the AP mine in 5.2 will shoot out a pair of wires that attach to nearby surfaces. Enemy players that run through the cables will trip the mine. It also trips if you open a door with one of the wires attached. The headshot notification sound from Battlefield 1 is also making its way to Battlefield 5. It could also be heard during the live stream. This is great news. Absolutely love that sound from Battlefield 1. The Community Games blog post detailing Battlefield 5's custom server system has been further delayed to December 4th. Quake Island may be coming to the game on December 12th. An in-game image advertising the map currently lists the date, but it could be subject to change. Also in-game, players noticed 2 new maps in the server browser, Al Marj Encampment and the Solomon Islands. The new map options were quickly removed. We've known thanks to data mining that a 4th Pacific map is potentially coming to Battlefield 5 for a while now. Previously, the 4th map has been referred to as a jungle map. In real life, Solomon Islands saw significant conflict with a bloody and decisive battle fought at Guadalcanal between the Americans and Japanese. As for Al Marj Encampment, this might be one of the maps being repurposed from Battlefield 5's cancelled 5v5 competitive mode. It would join Lofoten Islands and Provence as a squad conquest and TDM exclusive map. Marj is a city in northern Libya and saw battle during the North African campaign of World War II. Modern Warfare's first major content drop begins on December 3rd. Its build is Season 1 and includes 3 new multiplayer maps, 1 ground war map, at least 3 2v2 maps, 3 new modes, 5 Spec Ops missions, and 2 new guns. The 3 new multiplayer maps are all classics from the original Modern Warfare: Crash, Vacant, and Shipment. It's unclear if they're direct remakes or being rebuilt with new designs. The ground war map is called Port. Data mining has suggested the gigantic map used for Spec Ops missions is slowly being released in pieces as new maps. Both the Ground War and potential Battle Royale mode for Modern Warfare apparently make extensive use of this giant map. so don't be surprised if port looks a little familiar. Season 1 represents the biggest content release for a Call of Duty game to date. That said, it's not all dropping at once. Some parts of it will likely release after December 3rd, and additional content may be added at a later date like new weapons or something like that. Season 1 also kicks off the game's first battle pass. It'll have 100 tiers, and everything can be unlocked by either playing or paying for it. Apex Legends is getting a new level cap and more. On December 3rd, the game's max rank will increase from 100 to 500. Currently, once you hit rank 100, you stop unlocking Apex packs. With the new level cap, you'll be earning them every 2 levels until rank 300, and then every 5 levels after that. The Apex packs rewards will also be retroactive, so if you've earned enough XP to be rank 200 or something like that, you'll get the Apex packs you would have unlocked with the new level cap. Space exploration game No Man's Sky got a massive update out of the blue this week that includes nearly 300 bug fixes and a new system for upgrading your spaceship. Called Synthesis, the update adds terminals players can interact with to upgrade your current ship to max rank and expand their inventory size. Until now, upgrading your ship meant roaming for new ships to buy from NPCs. Often it meant giving up a ship that you liked for a better one with a different design that wasn't exactly your style. Now you can keep your favorite ship without being held back from the higher level exploration and combat. Synthesis is free to all people who own the game and available on all platforms. CSGO now has a Halo-themed sticker capsule available in-game. The stickers are all callbacks to the classic iconography of past Halo titles, and a dank meme from the Bungie weekly updates, Mr. Chief. When Halo Reach launches on the 3rd, for players that spend enough time playing, it'll also unlock a music pack for CSGO. CSGO is currently running its first operation in 2 years with weekly rewards, co-op missions, community maps, and more. Following the announcement of Half-Life Alyx, Valve has sold out their premium Index VR headset. The new hardware launched earlier this year for $500, but it requires new tracking stations, so the total cost ends up being closer to $1,000 once you throw in the hand tracking controllers. While Index has certainly proved popular, this is the first time it's been sold out since launch. Intel and AMD clashed heads this week, with both companies releasing their latest and greatest high-end desktop CPUs on the same day. AMD released their Threadripper 3960X and 3970X CPUs. These are monster CPUs with 24 and 32 cores. In an attempt to stay competitive, Intel launched their 10 series i9 processors. Unfortunately for Intel, they failed to compete with the comparable AMD CPUs. Many tech reviewers also took issue with Intel moving the embargo for reviews to mere hours before AMD's new Threadripper CPUs had their review embargo. This meant reviewers couldn't directly compare the latest CPUs from both companies on launch day without delaying their reviews. Ultimately, this is a pretty dirty play from Intel to try and avoid comparison reviews, and shows that they're certainly seeing AMD as a pretty big threat to their top-of-the-line CPUs. On the GPU side of PC hardware, Nvidia has released an update for their Quake RTX project. Many of the game's textures have been reworked to render more realistically with ray tracing enabled. Now surfaces like metal doors and mirrors should look much more true to life. They also added dynamic resolution scaling. Basically, you tell the game what your target FPS is, and it'll automatically lower the game's resolution on the fly to hit that target. This is an excellent option for people with hardware capable of running the game at a higher resolution until a bunch of explosions or something like that happens and your FPS tanks. With DRS enabled, you're more likely to maintain a stable frame rate more often. Quake RTX is one of the first good arguments for ray tracing in games. It updates a classic title that had legitimately fun gameplay with a new, innovative graphics engine and breathes a lot of new life into it and shows a lot of promise for other games out there. Unfortunately for Google, it seems like their Stadia cloud gaming service is making a bad case for game streaming. The service launched last week with a variety of major issues. Firstly, customers needed either a Google Pixel phone or iPhone to activate their service, and that was assuming you ever got your activation code. Many customers failed to have their codes delivered for days after launch. Then there are the technical issues with the actual playing of games on Stadia. Many titles exceed the capabilities of what Google servers can run properly. So achieving the advertised maximum 4K 60 FPS experience is a struggle for select titles. You'll also see noticeable input lag compared to playing games locally. While the last bit is kind of expected, it's just another issue on the long list of problems with Stadia. When it works, cloud gaming services like Stadia and Microsoft's xCloud certainly feel like they fit in gaming's future. But when they fall short in any of the performance categories, it basically makes gaming either totally impractical or totally unenjoyable. In our final story this week, Ghost Recon's Breakpoint first raid, Project Titan, has launched. It's the first endgame level content people will have access to since the game's launch. It throws you and 3 other teammates onto Golem Island. There you'll have to defeat 4 named boss level drones. Doing so will net you some top tier loot and rewards. You'll need a minimum gear score of 150 to join the raid. While a raid may be good news for players that have stuck with Breakpoint, for people that were just put off by its issues, more robots to shoot might not sound all that appealing. Now before I go, I just wanted to quickly mention that both Steam and GOG are running major game sales right now. If you're looking to save some money on new games or just looking to pick up some classic titles for a discount, do not miss out. As always guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode and I'll see you guys next time. This is Level Cap signing off.